Hi. This light down thing is a good thing. 14 years ago, I walked into a company called CTX Mortgage, and I met Pete Galde there. My name is Teri Paige, and I work for a title insurance company. Pete took me around to each individual office, and he showed me where everybody was going to sit and what the function of each individual would be and how the office was going to operate. And I remember thinking, I know he is so busy, he's the office manager, yet he's taking time to spend with me, somebody he doesn't even know. It really touched my heart that he would do that. But one thing I noticed about Pete is he treats everybody that he comes across as somebody pretty special, pretty important. There were times when I would say, Pete, I have a question, but it's not work-related. And in his exuberant way, he'd rub his hands together and say, oh, goody, those are my favorite kinds. It was such a treat to visit his office because 25% of the time we would talk about work, but then the remaining amount of time we would talk about the Lord and about relationships. On his wall hung a plaque that said, in light of eternity, how will this matter? And I remember thinking, that's how he lived his life. He treated people more important than money, and he put others ahead of himself. Years later, my now husband, Russ, came on the scene. And I remember talking with Russ, and he said, well, tell me about this whole equally yoked thing, and why is this so important in relationships? And I said, I don't know, go talk to Pete. And he did. And I think he said something about, well, hopefully Pete's less weird than you are. A few weeks after that conversation, they met for coffee, and Pete, in his eloquent way, explained to him why that was so important. Through Pete's guidance, Russ accepted Christ, and then Pete and Kathy actually became our mentor couple before we got married. And of course, they were in the wedding, and Pete spoke, and it was pretty special. Pete has had such an amazing impact on my life, and I know so many others here too. He's influenced me to put people ahead of agendas and to treat others as more important than myself. I know I've read that somewhere, but it's as if God put skin on Pete and used him as a living example. Kathy and Todd and Josh and Wade, I want to thank you. I know Pete worked long hours, and sometimes that meant that he wasn't home with you. But I'll tell you, he made a difference in our lives. And in light of eternity, he made a difference. Thank you.